Okay, this lesson for the Koine Project class, Mark chapter 3, verse 5, will be contrasting Pharisees and their desire to categorize Jesus, which is the transliteration of the term from which we get accuse, accusation, and categorization. And then we'll notice Jesus on the Sabbath day with his desire to give compassion to a man with a withered hand. And then also notice how predictable it was that it was a determined condition that Jesus would heal the man on the Sabbath day. And yet we'll notice Jesus' reaction to this condition, and we'll notice that according to his behavior, it was not acceptable, nor was there any theological explanation that would excuse them for the condition of their hearts. So it says, and, oh my, here we go. So, and Perry, you see the preposition Perry. Let me fix this here. And, okay, and Perry bleps Samanos. A lot of this should be very familiar with you, but now you can see the blepo, see, or look here, and then Perry around. So it's aorist, and it's participle. So when it's middle, when he looked round about, I'll go ahead and put ACCUSE here, ACCUSE, them, look round about them. Now remember, it's middle voice, for himself. For himself, looked round about them for himself with meta, and of course the letter alpha is missing there because of this vowel in orgase. So wrath, with wrath. Go ahead and move that just to explain it. So you'll notice when it's dropped, it's so that you won't have those two vowels. So with wrath, and when he looked round about them for himself with wrath. And then we have this word, Seolip, umenos, being, it's passive participle, present passive, being, and it has a prefix preposition seen together with, so it's grief together with grief. So being extremely, prepositions were added for emphasis, extremely grieved, and here we'll see the basis of it. Epi, upon, te, po, rose, upon the hardness. Notice there's nothing about Jesus' behavior toward them that would, again, excuse this. And I know sometimes we can lose sight of the living God and the truth of living theism, but here we have a great text, and the Bible is a wonderful book when we don't try to take the reality of it and place it into some kind of dead construct. The hardness, tes, cardios, auton, so it's the heart singular, of them plural. So of the heart singular, of them plural. Notice it was a corporate condition of this particular group of Pharisees. It seemed to be what brought them together and found them eager to categorize Jesus. It even said in the earlier text they were attending alongside, hardness of the heart of them. Let me see. And when he looked around about, so he is saying, lege, he, this is Jesus, is saying to the man, to the anthropo, to the man, So here's the statement Jesus makes. He says to him in an aorist imperative, ektain non. Extend, tain, kara, su. So that's of you, hand, thee, and then he command him to extend his hand, extend the particular hand of you. And let's see what happens here. It says, and kai, and now here's where I'll take just a moment here. X, and then put this augment here because we'll notice where it is. We're still trying to remember the Greek class while I'm doing this. Ektain, and then here's the ending. You see what happened. The augment was placed between the preposition ek and the verb tano, and then here's the ending, saman, sate, se, and here's third person singular, and it says, and he extended, yeah, and he extended, let me see, kai, let me see, we have this long word for restored, and it's got prepositions in it. There's apo, kate, or from kata, and then we have es, ta, they. My goodness, it's passive, and hey, the care, hand, autu, of him, make sure I don't, there we go. Now, autu, the hand of him was restored. You notice away from that withered condition accordingly, and this is position. So the hand was placed back in its original position away from that one that was described as withered, and that's quite a good understanding. And then we have this word, hig, a healthy one, hosts, like, hey, ale, like the other hand. So there we go. But you notice it's quite a remarkable account. It's similar when Jesus was rebuking cities for refusing to repent in view of the reality of powers that he had done in their midst. And he had even told them that had these powers been done in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, they would be here to this day. So he expected them to respond. His behavior expected them to respond. His behavior is true. His words are true. He's the way. He's the life. He's the truth. So when he conducted and rebuked and railed against, if you will, and expressed wrath toward people, it's because their condition was not acceptable and there was not an excuse given them. So this was a good lesson. I liked it because of all the unusual words, but we get to see our prepositions, peri. We get to see the different words that we don't always, and notice this prefix seen there together with, see how the augment falls in place. Anyway, it's a good lesson. It's a good text for those of you who are getting back into the lesson and using your Koine. But that's it. It's free-handed. You can check it now. We can do that later and go back. But I recommend you freehand it. And then also remember this lesson. It exemplifies living theism. It exemplifies the unconcealed reality as the Son of God walked on the earth, as the Son of Man, that they would later accuse him of blasphemy for saying that they would see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, because that was saying something of him that they would never acknowledge. So you have a blessed day. Enjoy this lesson.